Howdy ho Pokemon people, my name is Maikya and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video. I'm going to be using Photoshop to kind of explain my top 5 locations in Pokemon Sword and Shield so far. So this is just based on what I've seen on the map and kind of things of interest. So I'm going to kind of go through them all and explain to you guys what I think of each one. So you can obviously see the first location on my left here. So it's quite interesting. Well, it's actually on my right, but it's on my left. Anyway, point is it's quite an interesting place. Let's just get straight into it and I'll try and explain what it is. Before we go do that though, make sure to leave a like down below because I really appreciate your support. So yeah, let's go. So as you guys can see here, this first place is quite an interesting place. So if you look on it properly, if you actually look at the the drawing here, or the map as such. So to the north of this area we have these like icy islands, these really small icy islands. Now in terms of scale it's really hard to like theorize how big Galar actually is. We can kind of guess, but it's like kind of hard to see because it's quite a very linear sort of region by the looks of things. So it's hard to tell scale wise how big these icebergs actually are. The biggest reason why I like this area so much is I'm like thinking what type of Pokemon are going to be there. We're going to see a lot of icy, watery Pokemon. Really interesting. We're going to see a lot of Seal and that sort of thing there. Dugong, obviously Walrein, that sort of thing. We're going to see a lot of that going on, but whether we see more Pokemon in the Galar region for those types as well, who knows? It's just an interesting type of route because we've never really seen it before. We've never seen like water and ice working together and how that actually works well. We obviously see in the trailer there is that photo of the protagonist standing on a place that looks very similar, throwing a Pokeball, so who knows, we could have like a really interesting part of the region that's really interesting. But another thing that came to my attention was the thing below. I don't really know what this is. It looks sort of like a haunted house, but not. It looks like an abandoned kind of work building, like an industrial work shed. Not really sure what it is. It's quite interesting because to the left of it is a path that cuts through the hills, and then you come to this peninsula and there's this like abandoned industrial looking building. I can't see it that well, but from what I can see it looks like either storage containers or a building of some variety. Very interesting how that then leads down onto a beach that leads into the icy biome. Very, very interesting. So that's kind of my first location that kind of came to my attention straight away. Let's get into the second one and I'll kind of go from there. So the second location is very, very close to the first. This location is super interesting. So if you look, you can see the top of Dragon City kind of peering at the bottom of that picture. And behind that is like a bored tunnel in the wall, or in this cracked wall of some sort. I don't really know what that is. There must be some kind of cave in there. Now, I don't know what cave it is or how it works. But if you can see on the other side of that wall, there's a train track coming out from behind the cave. So whether it's like a hole in the wall that you go through, and then there's a train station there, or whether the hole actually is where the train station starts, or Dragon City could be the start of the train station. We don't know because that tower's blocking our view. Very, very interesting how it looks though. And why the train stops halfway up the path, I do not know. It looks super, super interesting, super intriguing. And if you look just above that, there's this steep, steep hill, very straight, steep hill. So I assume that'll be big steps or something like that. And then there's like this roundabouty kind of sort of thing entering the top of the, the top of the region. So part of me thinks this could be like a Victory Road sort of scenario. That wall, it could be our Victory Road going up to the top of that, new city, that top city there. No idea. I'm just speculating. I think that's sort of what it could be. I don't really know entirely, but I'm guessing from an assumption that's sort of what it does. It'll be very interesting to see if the actual route between that hole in the wall and the Dragon City is actually like a free roam route, or whether that's just a very straightforward path. I've noticed that a lot about this region. There's some very straightforward, simple paths. I hope it's not open world, if that makes sense. I hope it's not too closed up. So that's my fourth place that I thought was quite interesting. So let's get into the third. So in my third location, there is the lakes here. So these are super, super interesting to me because the actual route here looks really open plan. So you can go around to the left towards that tower. You can go around the middle. You can't go around to the right as such, I don't think, but you can definitely cross different ways. Now, the biggest thing for me here is not actually the lakes themselves, it's the island in the middle. Now, if you look at the island, you can see there's a small bit of path. Now, if you look at the island, you can see there's a small bit of path just here. Now, I do think that this is something to do with a legendary, or maybe something to do with some sort of storyline mode. There's a cloud above it as well, which kind of signifies there's something going on that island, something ominous, something there, clearly, that needs investigating. It's very interesting how they put it there. I wonder how we're going to use surf in the games, and so I kind of just got intrigued by the idea of how we could use this island and what it'd be for. And it's not that big really in comparison to the whole region, but it's sizable enough to say there's something definitely going on there. So let me know if you guys think anything of it. If not, then don't worry, but if you do, let me know down below. That'd be really nice. And let's go to the second location. So my second location is on the left here. It is the forest. Now, the reason why I chose this as my second place is because I found that it's very, very interesting. The house style is very different. There's these big, giant, glowing mushrooms. There's obviously one of those gym stadium things there. Very, very interesting. It reminds me a lot of Kalos's fairy-type gym and how that was kind of in this forest sort of thing. Very interesting. Now, the reason why I chose it mostly was obviously the reasons I've just explained, but it's also the fact that there's no clear access to the forest. Do we go through that kind of Diglett's cave sort of scenario? Or do we go through a different route? Do we go through the forest itself? Do we actually link up anywhere? Or is it just one place and back? Who knows? I just thought it was quite interesting, especially with those style of houses, because none of the rest of the region is styled like that at all. It reminds me very much of German forests and German houses, the German chalets, the German, you know, those sorts of things. Very interesting, very similar to kind of like a fairy tale theme. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out in the region. Now, in my top place, I will be going to... That's right, I'll be going to the starter town. Now, the reason why I put the starter town as such a big thing is because if you look down there in the bottom left, you have the player's house, obviously, the protagonist's house. That's fine, that's understandable, like we've seen that in the trailer, but what we haven't seen in the trailer is this path to the left. Very, very interesting. It's very much a Pallet Town situation where we know it's there, we know it goes somewhere, but where it goes, we don't know. Obviously in Pallet Town we could guess because it went to Cinnabar, but we still didn't know. When you're starting out in Kanto, you don't really know where it's going if you're new to the games. This is a very similar situation. It's not apparent where this goes. It's not very clear at all. We don't know where this leads. Does it lead anywhere? Is it off bounds? It doesn't look like it. Now, why would they put a path and a river, let's be honest, a path and a river right next to each other going off the region if you weren't to go off the region? This is a really interesting bit of speculation here. People are saying it's to do with Kalos and links to Kalos. Some people are just saying it's something to do with post-game. Who knows? This was the most intriguing part of it for me, is the fact that it was in the hometown, the starter's hometown. We didn't even have to go far. We literally could look at the hometown and go, what is that? You know? Very interesting speculation, very interesting ideas surrounding this. I hope to God that Game Freak do something interesting with it. If they don't, I'll be gutted. But hopefully they do. Be nice to see, definitely a nice idea. So yeah, that's my top 5 locations for this game so far. Obviously we'll get revealed more as more gameplay is announced. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry if it's a bit of a short one. Be sure to leave a like down below. I love your support. It means the world to me. It really, really does. It means the world to me. So yeah, be sure to comment and let me know what your top 5 locations are on this map. Be sure to let me know exactly where they are and what the names are and what you think they're about. And be sure to subscribe for more videos like this. Anyway, that's me, Maikya, signing off. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys for another video soon.